What's going on, masculine family? Welcome back to the video. So what I want to talk about today is how to how to stop caring, how to turn off the fucks you give, right? So the idea is everyone that comes to my coaching program and people who ask me this question, I had a guy in my Instagram ask me this question yesterday. How do I turn that off? How do I stop caring? How do I let go, right? Letting go is actually an initial decision. So you're tired of the rejection. You're tired of, because most of you guys are secretly waiting. Most of you guys are 100% secretly waiting for your ex to reach out to you. You're waiting and you're biding your time. That's not how it works. See, when you let go, you say, you know what? I'm not holding on to this anymore. I'm not holding on to this connection. I'm letting go of you, and I'm letting go of us, and I'm letting go of the memories and just putting it in the past. And then most people that come to my coaching program are trying to skip the process. You want the end result of not caring and the benefits that it brings you. That's like trying to be jacked without going to the gym. You have to practice and you have to understand the material. You have to understand the game, read the material that I tell you to read. Because the number one thing that I'm trying to get you guys to do, and most people to do, obviously, is improve yourself, but awareness. Awareness is the number one thing. When you don't understand the mistakes you're making, and the material, the books will show you, oh, I made that mistake. Oh, I made that. They're subtle. These subtle, small mistakes are what are killing attraction. Attraction's got to stay high, right? So if you're trying to make attraction happen, right? After a breakup, it's not going to happen how you think. You think you can just turn off your fucks and she'll call you. It's not really that's not really how it works. You have to let go of the entire relationship and all of your aspirations and goals about trying to get her back, right? It's more like that, and just say, you know what? I'm going to be alone and I'm going to just work at myself, create the person. See, life and your goals and shit don't find you. You create them. It comes from inside here and it goes outwards. But everyone's like, I'm trying to find myself. Women say this fucking shit all the time. I'm trying to find myself. I need to go find myself. I need to discover myself. You create what you want. You create who you are. Every day is another day to create your dream life. So I did this with this guy that I got helped with. He's with his girl after a year. The dude had nothing going on in his life at all. Zero goals, zero aspirations, nothing. And literally, girl comes back after a year. They get back together. Things are good. And now he's exactly who he wanted, who he thought he would be. He was the kind of guy that's like, oh, you know, everything's going to come to me. That entitled mentality, right? No. You create that stuff. You want to make 10K a month, you have to earn that shit. You have to put out value at scale. You have to understand what value at scale even looks like. What does that mean? How much work does it cost? How much of your life does it cost? So it's the idea of letting go of all of the hope, letting go of all the bullshit, and create the person that you want to be. Create that every day. Write it down. What's your perfect day look like? There's an exercise. This is something that I only usually talk to my students about, but there's a perfect day exercise. So what that means is I want you to write down on a piece of paper, okay? So at the top of you can get like a little book. This is kind of like an art book, right? You can get something like this. And it's like, I don't know, like $2 at the dollar store. So you can go, what does my perfect day look like? And if it's multiple pages, it's multiple pages. It is what it is. You write everything down, right? And what does your day look like? So what time are you waking up? And of course, there's going to be variables, you know, sometimes you sleep in, sometimes you don't. But generally speaking, what's your sleep schedule look like? Because having a great sleep schedule, having that great repair time, good REM sleep, like don't have any coffee after 3. Because when you have a great, I always say, start with a great sleep schedule because you'll work around that. You will stop drinking coffee after like 2 because it affects your sleep that night or whatever, right? You'll stop having shitty food. You'll want to eat better food, right? I'm lifting a lot more, so I'm eating a lot more protein kind of based foods, but I'm still like, you know, eating junk food sometimes too, right? So it's really depends on what the fuck you want with your life. Everyone has this great aspiration of I want to look like this or I want to do this, but what do you want? What the fuck do you want? Because when you have everything, when you have, you know, like for real, after about 15K a month, like how much more money do you really need? Like if you want to be driving really nice cars and all that stuff, fine, you're gonna do that. But like And again, I think you should always be striving for more and make your goals higher and better. But what you'll realize is there's a certain line you cross and you're like, I don't need much more money than this. And a lot of people that are wealthy are like, yeah, like, you know, I have a few investments, you know, like major investments, like real estate and stuff like that, like REITs, real estate investment trusts and whatever that they invest in. And they're like, yeah, you know, that brings me more than enough money than I need. Everything else gets paid for with ease, right? So you have to decide on what you want. Trying to turn off the fucks you give, it comes with, it's a process. It's a process of day-to-day awareness, right? A day-to-day reading, day-to-day internalization, like not internalization in terms of like not expressing, but like more read, right? Take in content that's going to upgrade you and raise your level of consciousness. Because everyone's wondering, how do I get my ex back? That is everyone's first question. But the question should always be, what would make me a more attractive person to that person? Because that's where your energy is going to be. I understand that because I've been through what you guys have been through. I know exactly what you're thinking. How can I get that person back so I can have my shot again, or just dump them? Because some people are just, you know, spiteful like that. But the idea is you have to think, what would make me more attractive to that person? What would bring them back? What would bring a new woman into my life? Actually, it's probably a better idea to more think about what would bring a new woman into your life, because it's the same fucking thing that would bring your ex back to you. So you have to think about it like that, because, you know, dress better, lose some weight, gain weight, whatever it is for you. But really, it's about your confidence. It's about your energy. When you have that energy, when you have that it factor, a lot of women will sense that. They'll just know who the dude in the room is that, you know, carries himself the best, right? Stands up straight, you know, he just knows exactly what to do, what to say. Humorous, funny. But again, it always comes, ask any woman on the face of this planet what's the most attractive thing about a guy. Confidence, every single time, right? Now, a lot of, you know, some girls will be like, oh, he's got to have six-pack abs and all that shit. But a mature woman, a decent girl is going to be like, yo, confidence, a sense of humor is always another one. So think about it. And sense of humor comes from a place of, there are obviously great comedians that used their past pain as a joke, right? Like, you know, self-deprecating stuff and you know, stuff that they've been through. But a lot of the times, the guys that are usually the most successful with women in terms of that sense, being funny and being, you know, that comes from a place of being totally cool with who you are. Sounds cliche, but it's true. Every single time that I'm in that zone with people, I'm making everyone around me laugh, we're having a great time, I don't think about me. I'm thinking about them, and I'm thinking about just the environment. I'm just being. And it's so hard for people to think like that. But when you're just there and you're having a good time, that's what you got to get back to energetically. That's the whole idea. So if you want to turn the fucks off, become aware. Awareness comes from reading, consuming material, listening to material. There's a lot of podcasting today. And just realizing where the little mistakes are. Then you can reverse engineer some of these things and say, okay, what's making my energy come off in a desperate way or needy way or an ugly way, whatever it is. And then you say, okay, you know what? I'm really stressed out about money. I'm really stressed out about women. So start understanding these things. I can help you with both, right? But it's up to you. It's always my job, and people confuse this all the time, is to empower you. A lot of men are missing that father figure, that masculine advice that is so sought after now, right? And I'm not perfect. There's many people that you guys might not like me. You guys might like Rich Cooper or George Bruno or Rollo Tomasi. But the idea is, stop caring about them and me and design your life. So what does your perfect day look like? So it's 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m., whenever you're waking up, or maybe you're a midnight person. What does it look like? What do you do? I like working. I really do. I like putting my energy into my business, because when you understand energy, you understand why you need to, you know, but it can work perfectly fine without you. You just have to understand the logistics. But I like working a little bit. So 3 or 4 hours, right? I think most people, especially men, want to work a little bit per day to feel useful. So you can do that, right? So is it 3 hours? Is it 5? Is it 2? Is it 1? Some weeks on, some weeks off. What is it for you? So when you understand that, okay, next, what does your ideal body look like? For me, I don't give a fuck, right? But obviously if I get too gross, I'm going to fix it. But I don't feel a difference in my, my energy and my body in terms, like, I feel a little more stiff probably, but that's about it, right? I like lifting weights. I lift weights every single day. There's a bench right behind me in that corner, and a barbell down here, right? The Easy Curl bar, I should say, not barbell. So that's right down here. And then dumbbells are over there. So I got more than enough. And then out that door, right, I got all this space. So I keep myself in decent shape. I could definitely lean down a bit, but that's the point. It's up to me, right? It's up to me. What is it for you? What's your body fat percentage? What do you want to get it to, right? How much money do you want to be making? So this was my goal for money back in 2019, going into 2020. This was my goal. 15K a month. That was my goal. And I had no body goals at the time. I just had an idea of where I wanted to be, but I cared more about making a lot of money first. And then having freedom, which I got in 2018. I left my job then. I had enough money from YouTube to leave my job then. So the freedom aspect was already covered. And I already had a relationship. So the only real major goal I had was the money. But for you guys, I know many of you are working jobs you fucking hate. So that might be leaving your job. It might be, finding a great woman, or having attracting a great woman, whatever it is you want to think about it. It's up to you. You are the creator and the director of your life. There's so many people out there that are trying to tell you what to do exactly, right? Because all they're doing is spitting the same rhetoric somebody else is spitting. Oh, Rich Cooper. I love Rich. I love his books. I love his material. But somebody will literally listen to every single fucking word he says, and they're like, that is how I have to live my life. And it's like, no, it's advice. It's a guideline. It's you that have to direct your life. I love Rich. Corey Wayne, I can use him as an example. Same fucking thing, right? You design your life, and don't live by just how somebody else is telling you. That is the problem. Not the creators. There are powers that be are trying to instill you with fear. Understand that fear. Understand what us are trying to tell you, that you are the creator. Empower yourselves through awareness. That's more powerful. Then you can make the fucking decisions you want to. People will get upset if I told them, oh, reach out to your ex, right? Because the shit that everyone's been saying is, no, let everyone come to you. I agree with that 99% of the time. But if you get yourself to a fucking awesome place in life, she hasn't said anything to you, and you just send one text out and everything goes great, who the fuck cares? Honestly. But everyone's like, oh, I'm, wrapped up in all these rules that I've read on the internet, and these guys are living their lives like this. How do you want to live your life? Do you really care what other people on the internet think? Right? I know you're watching my video, so you're listening to me, but use that advice for yourself and create the life you want. If it's not working for you, go back and rewrite the rules, or go back and rewrite this software that's up here. So you have to learn how to ask yourself, am I unhappy? And those are, that's a whole thing. But if it's not working for you, go back to the drawing board. If it's working for you and you're a happy man, you've won, right? You've always won. So good luck. I'll see you guys in the next video. Coaches down below. Done.